Before we get into today's episode of NAISB covering everything NAIA softball, we are going to talk about a couple of our sponsors that make this podcast possible. First off, if you are an athlete or honestly just someone that is constantly on the go, you have probably dealt with things like muscle cramps, brain fog, or just feeling drained halfway through the day. What you and a lot of people don't know is 75% of us are deficient in magnesium, which is one of the most important minerals in your body. And I know what you're thinking, that just sounds like another pitch for a supplement. However, this is one that Carly and I use personally. It is our favorite. It is Magna. DrinkMagna.com is where you get this amazing product. I have been using Magna for a little over a year now, and about a year ago, it changed everything for me. I just used this weekend at the Sun Conference Beach volleyball tournament. It helps so much, adding that little extra boost because it doesn't have just one; it has three types of magnesium. It has magnesium L-theanite for focus, magnesium malate for natural energy, and magnesium glycinate for recovery. It is exactly what you need as an athlete because it doesn't just have that. It contains electrolytes for recovery and hydration as well. And you get way more out of it than your typical sports drinks that are filled with sugar, caffeine, junk, and dyes because they have none of that. And it just tastes really, really good. The blood orange, which I have right here, is my personal favorite. You can get the variety pack right now and try it out for yourself at drinkmagna.com, and you get flavors like watermelon, lime, iced tea lemonade, and just regular lemonade and iced tea. Carly is a huge fan of the blood orange, and they've just dropped a new blackberry ice flavor as well. I recommend getting that variety pack. And not only that, you can get it for 15% off, and it's not bad at all price wise already. Go to drinkmagna.com and put in code NAISB15. That's the name of the podcast, 15, 15, NAISB15 at checkout for 15% off your order. And they are a very nice sponsor to us. So putting in that code helps us out a lot and helps us continue covering NAI softball. So again, that is drinkmagna.com. The link is down in the description, and code NAISB15 for 15% off of your order. NAISB is also sponsored by Rip It, Rip It Sports. You all know it. You all love it. If you are a softball parent, player, or coach, you have bought a Rip It product before. I'm just about sure of it, especially if you are a pitcher or infielder. Their fielder's mask and pitcher's mask are iconic, obviously, and we can help you out with 10% off of your order. The link is, we don't have a code, but the link is down in our description. You use that link and you get 10% off of your order. That link, it will also be available on or in our Instagram bio, but just go down in the description and use it. You all know Rip It softball cleats made for female athletes. It is made specifically for the female athlete. They have metal and turf shoes. They have got the fielder's mask, helmets, pants and sliding shorts, a lot of training apparel, bags and accessories. They've got the sports bras, t-shirts, leggings, everything. They even have t-balls and things for coach pitch as well for our youth sports. So yeah, Rip It Sports, leader in the softball industry, and really cool to have them as a sponsor for NAISB. So if you're a coach watching this and you're wanting to get stuff for your team from Rip It, make sure you go down and use the link in our description, the specific one for NAISB, because it helps the podcast a lot as well. And also you get 10% off of your order. But yeah, go to use that link down below and enjoy today's episode of NAISB. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the 2026 NAIA Softball World Series preview episode of NAISB. I'm former very average punter for Weber International, Reagan Herald. We have missed you. Our former All-American shortstop co-host, Carly Fitzer. Carly, how we doing, sis?
It's good to be back. I'm just going to thank everyone for reaching out for the thoughts and prayers for the past week. But I'm happy to be back where I belong with Reagan, with NAISB. Let's
Yeah.
wrap up the year strong.
Let's do it. Super excited. This is the last episode we're doing, obviously, before I head up to Columbus, Georgia. We do have one more episode, actually. But those interviews are being filmed now, but interviews with
Hmm.
every coach and a couple of players. We got a few players in the mix this year for our interview episode before the World Series. That's going to come out Wednesday morning, so 24 hours before first pitch. We've got that coming out. So super excited for that. Again, that was a huge hit last year. But yes, this is our World Series preview. So we're going through all 10 teams, and Carly and I are going to give our predictions for who we think will be playing for the national championship and who will bring the red banner back. We're down to 10. Carly, before we go through and break down all of these teams. Let's get your thoughts on over the last week and everything.
Hmm.
What an insane opening round. The first time you or I, this was your third time predicting. This is my fourth time predicting. Neither one of us have finished below 50% on predicting the opening rounds. As a group, we went 50%. I think as a team, I went 3 for 10. I think you went something similar. Tough week of predicting. What an incredible opening round. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a game from the first pitch to the last, but I did try to stay on top of the scores and stuff like that. I think, although our predictions fell extremely short, I think that's what makes it so much more fun is those upsets and those teams that we didn't see making their way to Georgia. Um, so I thoroughly enjoy it. You know what? For once, I'm glad to be wrong.
No, me too. I know. You and I both get a little bit of an ego with going with these predictions and
We
everything. Like
do.
we both really like to be right. But like, oh yeah, we know what we're talking about. But this year, I don't think anybody was shooting above 50% for projecting these regionals. The ones that we got right are the number one, number two, and number three overall national seed right now.
Hmm.
It's Madonna, Southeastern, and Southern Oregon. And trust me, Carly, the Southeastern Fire fan base certainly wanted me to extend your wrongness to back to yourself. They
I
listened.
bet they did.
It was duly noted. They got a good fan base too.
Hey, I
We had a
appreciate
good
all the
time.
fun.
Yeah, I love chopping it up. That's something else because I'm sure we got a lot of parents tuning in and watching. Hey, if you want to come up and talk ball with me in Columbus, I'm down to talk ball. Like I don't like now. Obviously, hey, if we're working, we're working. We're doing whatever. You're cheering for your daughter. I get it, but you catch me walking around because that's what happened with like a few of the Southeastern fans. I mean, shout out Fia Zelenka's dad, Erica Ramsey's pops, Chloe Baker's dad. We're talking about bass fishing, which I tore it up on the lake yesterday. I had a little off day yesterday. I was literally just watching NCAA regionals on YouTube TV on my phone, and I caught 10 bass. It was like the best day ever. But yeah, y'all come up, holler at me. I love talking to the moms and dads, parents, fans, all that. It's a great time. But you hit the nail on the head, Carly. What a fun season. We've said it since around mid-February when I was getting back from Shawnee for the NAISB
Hmm.
invitation. It's like, hey, this is a weird year. There's going to be some things that surprise you. It's why I tried to be cheeky picking Campbellsville, thinking there would be a 3 seed. I was right. There were a few 3 seeds. It wasn't Campbellsville, and there were a couple of 4 seeds. A couple of 4 seeds coming out of it. We're going to talk about all of the teams 1 through 10. Not so much their journey through the opening round. That was our opening round recap, but we'll talk about it a little bit. But yeah, Carly, let's get into it. Let's start off with the number one overall national seed, and this is something I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about Madonna because in one of the episodes you missed, I talked about this was a mad team. They were playing some ticked
Hmm.
off softball. They felt like they should have been hosting. They felt
Hmm.
like maybe they shouldn't have gotten the GPAC and Heart of America champion as a 2 or 3 seed. Didn't matter. They took care of business. This Madonna softball, they're playing some really fired up softball right now.
They did. And when you look at, I mean, I wouldn't say that they went in and completely dominated their opening round. I don't think that that would be fair to say. But they came out pretty unscathed. I mean, they didn't have to play any more games than they had to. They defeated IU Southeast pretty handily, 6-0, Midland 4-1. And then they kept the Central Methodist bats quiet 1-0. This is a team that, as you said, is playing mad. You look at who they have played so far, like other teams that are going to be at the World Series. They are two and three, two, no,
Two and
two
one.
and one. Dang. Um,
Knock
they
the rust
have,
off.
Yeah, seriously, I can't compute stuff here. Um, let's see here. Back in February, they defeated Indiana Wesleyan 7-2. Since then, we've seen Indiana Wesleyan get a lot better. Cumberlands back in April, 2-1. They split with them, lost the second one 4-5. But let's look at their offense here. This is a very talented lineup. Faith Crampton will look to lead Madonna. She's got a 443 batting average, 7 home runs, staggering 26 doubles, which to me is absolutely insane. And then 66 RBIs. She does lead the team with RBIs. Ashley Rosewitz, she's the main power bat for Madonna. She has homered 14 times. She's batting 425, got 69 RBIs. And then she's also a threat. She's 25 of 29 for stolen bases. Bryn Anto, 400 batting average. No, yeah. And then you look at the defense for them. They are very solid in the field. They've got a fielding percentage of 971. Offensively or not offensively, I just talked offensively. Pitching is where there's probably a little bit more questions. We saw some injuries earlier in the season, but I'll let you touch on that one.
Yeah, and just going back to their lineup, this is a lineup that's riddled with experience from players that were freshmen 2 years ago at the World Series. Faith Crampton, Bernantu, Ashley Rosewitz. These are players, Reagan Finkbeiner. These are really solid players for them that have that World Series experience. No, it's not guaranteed to get back to the World Series every year, as they did not make it a year ago. And so now them coming back, really interested to see how they handle it. And yeah, the pitching. 2 years ago, they had a Mason Shloud go out there, pitch, win ball games.
Yeah.
Simple. Coming into this year, Carly, we were so hyped about Avery Wolverton, and for good
Hmm.
reason. She had a great first month and a half of the season. Tears her ACL against Coastal Georgia at the Space Coast games on the turf, and it's like, oh man, okay, now you've got to have Camille Oyer, who was number two last year. Can she step back up? And then can these freshmen do big things? And they have. Camille Oyer was phenomenal
She
this year.
has.
Yeah, 0.84 ERA, only 65 strikeouts, but that's okay when you have one of the best fielding percentages in the World Series field. This is a Madonna lineup that fields at a 97.1 fielding percentage, which is phenomenal, obviously. And then the freshmen, Anna Baddington, Sarah Alston, those are big names, and they're going to have to fill in innings because I don't think Camille Oyer is that Mason Shloud go out and pitch 50, 60 innings and win us a red banner. Those freshmen are going to have big moments, but yes, it will be Camille Oyer really needing to step up. Now, something we're doing for every team, it's hard questions. Carly and I
Hmm.
have prepared a couple of questions, one or two for each team each that we're going to ask each other and get our just give our honest answer. These are hard questions. Like these are difficult, and if you're a fan of the team, when you hear us ask these questions, you're going to start to squirm a little bit because guess what? It's hard to win the World Series, so you got to answer some hard questions. Carly, my first question to you about
Okay.
Madonna: are the Madonna Crusaders a product of their schedule, or are they ready to go win a national championship? Nobody doubts Madonna as a contender. They were number one at times this year, but then you look up at the resume and it's like, who have they beat again? Uh, but yeah. Are they a part of their schedule, or can this Madonna team? Are they going to kind of shut everybody up and be like, it was just like a couple of years ago, Our Lady of the Lake, they were like, what, 52-3 or whatever. And it's like, okay, are you
Hmm.
that good, or are you a little bit part of your schedule? So is it similar? So again, Madonna, product of the schedule, or are they deserving of the number one overall national seed and should be considered one of the favorites to win the national championship?
I'm going to say that. I think they're ready to go in the Natty.
I agree. I agree. I think it's very fair. Looking at their strength of schedule, it's not strong.
To
It's not.
question
It's
that. Yeah.
yeah. It's not as
I
strong.
think I think where I get my answer from is that they really they didn't skip a beat when they lost Wolverton.
No, for sure. Then I mean that's a huge reason for my for why I agree with your answer there. It's all right after they lost Wolverton. To me, they went from like a 5-7 loss team to like a 9-10 11 loss team, and obviously they come in. Ron Pizzoni's done just a great job keeping that ship nice and steady. They finish up the year, what, 48-4. I absolutely
Something silly like that.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you got it.
very strong. And Brian Bozzoni, second time in the World Series, 216 wins as a coach coming in, and they're great at a lot of different things. They're among teams in the World Series. Are second with a 363 batting average, 124 steals is second, and then the team ERA 1.6, second to only the team that we're about to talk about here in a second. So yeah, okay. So that answers my question. Carly, what's your question about Madonna?
So mine kind of piggybacks off of your question slash my reasoning for my answer. So Avery Wolverton was their ace, and they made it through the WAC in a fairly tough or opening round. So now that you're in the World Series, is Camille, has she solidified herself as the ace?
Yeah, it's a good question, a fair question. My answer is yes, and it was not yes at all until about May 13th when they punched their ticket. I think it was a really tough draw for Madonna to get Midland and Central Methodist because of how good we know both of those lineups are, in particularly Central Methodist, and what we saw them just put on display in Cedar Rapids at the Heart of America tournament. One earned run, not just that one run period,
Hmm.
and that work for that pitching staff to get through it, led by Camille Oyer, really impressive. Now, do I think she needs to pitch every inning, or she has to pitch every inning? No, we talked about that with the freshmen, and that's why it's important for those freshmen to be able to step up. And a good chance we get a freshman matchup at some point if we see Indiana Wesleyan win and we see Avery Toole, who we'll talk about in a little bit, go up against some of these freshmen. Good chance we have some youngsters in the circle on day two in Columbus. But obviously, we're not going to start going through the bracket too much. We'll do a few bracket things. I'm actually Carly. I'm gonna make you predict
I
games.
haven't filled
You're
one
not
out
gonna be
yet.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll probably at some point we'll probably pause our recording and maybe we'll look at doing that. But okay, I think that's good. Carly, you got anything else you want to hit on Madonna?
I do not. I think I'm good there.
Yeah, I think just to reiterate again, this is a team that's just good all around, can beat you a lot of ways, and really just plays clean softball. And I trust Ron Pizzoni to get things done in Columbus. I think they are going to go on a deep run in the Peach State. Carly, that leads us to the Southeastern
Your
Fire.
neck of the woods.
Yes, and you know me, and you just looking at those scores in their games in Winter Haven, was that not just the perfect Reagan Harrell kind of softball? I mean, 5-3, 5-1, 1-0,
He
two
loves them
three.
nitty gritty wins.
Dude, I love those games where, because here's another thing, I don't lose sleep over who wins these games. However, at the time of that Faulkner game, of that winner go home, if necessary game against Faulkner, I'm watching Cumberlands just dismantle Kaiser. And I'm watching Faulkner get runners in scoring position every inning of this game. And I'm like, oh no, I've got a lot
Your
of,
dream of a Sun Conference team was like,
it
it was
was,
up in the air.
yeah. And so I was getting real nervous sitting behind home plate. I was like, I've got a lot of receipts that are about to get put on my desk if we don't get a team in here. But yeah, they got in. It was just a great ball game. That 1-0 ball game was
The
absolutely.
walk-off squeeze,
Oh my gosh, Kayla Watkins,
a dream, dude.
the guts, the guts to call that. And it got started with Rayleigh McKinney, who I know you're going to talk about
Mhm.
with their lineup here in just a second. So I'm going to talk about who was undoubtedly the MVP of the Winter Haven or Lakeland bracket, Eden Playa. Just absolutely unreal. She only gave up one run in the complete game, or one earned run. No, one run. What? Yeah, one run against Evangel in the 5-1 win, and was lights out. 7 innings against Faulkner. In the post-game interview with Kayla Watkins, she talked about this is probably going to be a staff game. We're likely going to go to Fia Zelenka or Emma Vickers at some point. And then they look up, she's only given up 3 hits. She was phenomenal. And I know it's a question you're going to have
Mhm.
in a little bit, but her and Fia Zelenka and Emma Vickers, who was phenomenal in the conference tournament and was really solid in the opening round against Dillard, too. Man, That's just a disgusting 1, 2, 3. In
It really
particularly,
is.
yeah, and I think Ply and Zelenka are going to see a good bit more action than Vickers in this. And just looking at it, we've said their numbers a lot this year, but Playa 0.95 ERA, zero point 0.8 WHIP, 97 strikeouts in 133 innings. Zelenka 1.2 ERA, zero point 0.9 WHIP, and 153 strikeouts with 128 innings pitched. To beat this Southeastern Fire team, you cannot have a weakness in your lineup. Like if you're bad at hitting spin, then Kayla's going to throw Playa and you're screwed. If you can't hit speed and low in the zone, east west nasty action, then she's going to throw Zelenka and you're in trouble. If you can't handle a big tall righty coming at you, well, she's got Vickers too. It's such a
Yeah.
dangerous trio, and when they play loose, Carly, it's one of the most fun teams to watch in the country, especially with that pitching staff. It's going to be fun. Look, it's the staff that it leads the country in ERA. Yeah, it's nasty, and we know for Southeastern to win the national championship, the pitching is going to have to be the best it's been this season.
Yeah. And then you look at the offense. First of all, Riley McKitty, that's the
Rayleigh,
coolest way.
Rayleigh.
Rayleigh?
Yep.
Okay. Either way, that's the coolest way that you could spell that. I haven't said that yet this year. Every time I see her name, I'm like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's because whenever Southeastern comes up, like I got this.
I
I
got
got it.
this.
I got this.
Anyways, looking at their offense, she has certainly been a spark for the Fire lineup. She's got a 476 batting average, 13 home runs. And then she was the producer of Southeastern's hits in the winner take all final against Faulkner. So someone who definitely is not scared of the spotlight for sure.
Nah,
Uh,
dude, let me tell you something. Let me
you know
tell you
what? She
something.
wants the spotlight.
Dude, 0-1 count. She gets a rise ball and she whiffed on it. She whiffed. But good
Been there.
Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, if she would have connected on that thing, it's one of the hardest swings I've seen this season.
Really?
Uh
350?
yeah, like yeah, like no kidding, like it would have gone a cool 270, 280. I mean, it was a swing. Then hey, in that moment, in a pressure situation, obviously bottom of the seventh tie ball game, chance to punch her ticket. She shortens up, finds a gap, gets her
That's all you need.
her 20th double of the year. Boom. And then
That's what makes her such a talented player is being able to make those adjustments.
yeah.
But looking elsewhere too, Nicole, wow,
Wasserstrom.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Didn't even give me the chance to butcher it.
Nope.
Um, drove in the winning run. She had that walk-off sacrifice bunt, which once again, one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. But she's batting 300 this season, and she has raised her batting average by over 100 points in the past month. So if someone's going to be hot and be that person that you wouldn't really expect to have their shining moment in the World Series, I would put all my money on Nicole. The bases, Ella Brooks, a very talented name for Southeastern as well. She has swiped 44 bags. She's got a 422 batting average. Um,
Yeah, and look, I'll just build off that lineup with Southeastern because we talked about all around the top half of the lineup. Haley Bradley, key piece in that two spot. That's
mhm.
so key for Southeast, like how they want to score runs. Like the dream start for Southeastern. Um, Ella Brooks gets on via walk, single, whatever. Bunter over, she just steals second. Rayleigh McKinney finds a gap. One
Bang.
nothing. Bang. Like that's the dream first inning for them. And then the lineup can get going from there. But yeah, I think we're good. If you want to go home, you can go ahead if you want to ask the first question.
Yeah, since you touched on pitching,
Mhm.
um, I'll say, who do we see getting more innings? Zelenka or Playa?
It's a great question. I think it's very, very matchup based. Kayla Watkins is going to have to get in her bag and watching film, and obviously it starts with British Columbia and College of Idaho. The winner of that game, see what they struggle with more. Is it this like we talked about? Is it the speed and east to west, or is it a lefty with a nasty changeup? To be honest with you, or drop ball changeup, whatever. Carly, I think there's going to be a mix. I would be surprised if we see either of those pitchers have a complete game in the World
Hmm.
Series. I think you're going to see a lot of 5 innings
Which might
from
be better.
I agree because they are so different, and Vickers is so different. Like, don't be surprised at all. And we see it if you're watching the NCAA regionals. That's what you have to do now because at that level, at the Division One level, the bats are so far past the pitching this year. It's ridiculous. And so you're seeing that. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Playa go for 3 innings, Zelenka, or maybe throw in Vickers for an inning, and then Zelenka comes in for a save. I personally like the idea of Zelenka starting and having that start with that speed and then come in with the lefty, but then you kind of run into the problem of you've sped the lineup, you sped the bats up in the lineup. So I think it's really tough. My gut says Eden Playa just because we've seen her pitch more innings in the postseason so far. So I think it kind of continues on that trend, but it's going to be matchup pace, and you just got to trust Kayla Watkins to be able to make those decisions because that's what she's going to have to do, and that's kind of the X factor for Southeastern is Kayla Watkins. It's not so much a hitter or anything like that. It's Kayla being able to pull the strings and have the right pitcher in the right situation. Because if she's able to push the right buttons with the pitching staff, I think this is a team that can make a serious run at a red banner. And I also do think this is a team that is going to make a run at a red banner. Carly, my question for you, we talked about kind of 1 through 4 in the lineup, especially one, two,
Hmm.
three with Brooks, Bradley, and McKinney. Who do you think will step up? And I'm gonna take Nicole Wasserstrom kind of out of
Dang.
out of it a little bit. But you know what? I mean, if you want, I don't care. Other than kind of the big names at the top of the lineup, who do you think really has to step up? Because somebody has to be able to produce runs or at least produce base runners for the top of the lineup.
Yeah. Uh, this is a tough one. How crazy would I be to say Zelenka?
I don't think that's crazy at all. That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous. If I would like to see one more thing or one thing because I'm a huge I'm a Kayla Watkins fan. I think she's a great coach and all that. Let Zelenka swing the bat. Like when she's not playing, when she's not pitching, let her hit.
Hmm.
Let her DP. Why not? Because all due respect to the Southeastern lineup, it's not what you think about. Like that's not it's not what we think about when we're talking about Southeastern. At the bottom of their lineup though, Carly, I look at a Chloe Baker or Abby Franey because when they do have their big, because they don't have to. This is not a team that's got to score 8 runs a ball game. It's a team that's got to score like
Yeah.
5. If they score 5, 6 runs, and you're in the other dugout, you usually start feeling a little nervous. So I think it's very important for the 7, 8, 9 in the line. Whoever that
Turn it
is,
over.
yeah, just turn it over. Chloe Baker, Abby Franey, Jaden Fuller, turn the lineup over. Get Ella Brooks in a situation where she can pick up RBIs. Get Haley Bradley in a situation, and then Lord help him, you can get multiple runs in scoring position for Rayleigh McKinney. You're going to be feeling really good about your chances to bring a red banner back to Columbus, Georgia. Carly, you got one more question for me?
I do. So you saw Southeastern the past two big tournaments, opening round slash conference championships. Will they play loose and like one of the best teams in the country, or are they going to play tight and shorten their trip to Georgia?
Well, that's the key factor, isn't it? I mentioned Kayla and having the right pitchers in the right situation being an X factor, but that's just coaching, and you just got to let your coach there. That's the real X factor, isn't it, for these players? Can they play loose? Because I've seen this team play loose, and it's like nobody's beating them. Nobody's beating them. I've seen them play loose, and I mean beat the crap out of good teams this year. I've also seen them play tight, and it's like, oh my gosh, y'all are stressing me out with how stressed y'all are. Take a breath, have fun. I think Madison Williams, their assistant coach, said something really important, and I try not to do this when if I like overhear something a coach says, I try not to do it, but I do think it was a great coaching point from a young assistant coach. Madison said um, something to the tune of, "This is the most fun week of your softball career,"
Hmm.
and let it be that. Have fun, let loose. They've got a great dugout. It's a
Yeah.
phenomenal dugout. So just play loose, have
Well,
fun, let your pitchers pitch, and ride it out.
yeah. And my take is, I mean, I don't know what this team's goals were when they started the year, whether it was to make an opening round or go take a trip to Georgia. When I played, our entire goal was to just make it to Georgia. So when we got to Georgia, it was like we've gotten where we want to be. Now we can just do whatever the heck we want and have fun. Like,
Yeah.
we're here.
Yeah. And also, I think for Southeastern, this is the year before the year for as far as
Hmm.
I was concerned for Southeastern. Like, there's a ton coming back. There's a ton coming in. I can't remember if I had them in my preseason Columbus 10 or not. But regardless, you're here, you're young. There's a ton of sophomores and juniors. So let's have fun because
Hmm.
we talked about this a little bit with Bruce Lennington because I've already interviewed him. When you have a senior heavy team, sometimes it gets a little tight in Columbus or in the
It
postseason.
does. Everyone's worried this is their last game.
Yeah, and I know there's a few that there are, but the entire pitching staff returns, a good bit of the lineup returns. I know like Lauren Secretary's obviously a senior, and there's a couple more, but have fun, let loose, like that. That's my biggest advice to the Southeastern Fire: have fun, and don't ask me for too much advice because I mean, I'm not exactly a genius in this, but yeah, and we'll see. And also a key factor, kind of like with Madonna, second trip for Kayla Watkins. You've been here before, kind of the process. A little bit different for both of those teams. They both, let's see, Southeastern was the 7 seed in 22, and Madonna was the 8 seed in 24. So it's a little bit different with them having the day off on Thursday, but still, you've been in Columbus. You know what these games are like. Get after it. Speaking of knowing what it's like in Columbus, the World Series, do you have anything else on Southeastern?
Nope.
Okay, we had to Southern Oregon with Jessica Bestol. Just celebrated 500 wins. It was very funny talking with her, Carly, because I talked with her right before we hopped on. And I kind of joked with her. I was like, it must have been kind of nice winning that first Cascade Conference tournament with 4 national championships mixed in. She was like, look, Reagan, it has annoyed me so much, like not being able to win that since 2019. So it was fun to get to talk to her and like how it's different for her. I was like, it's got to be weird. You just got to have like, all right, ladies, we got to get from here to here after the conference tournament. They're there. So yeah, they're rolling. Yeah, they take care of business in their opening round, 3-1 against Dort, 5-10 against Texarkana, and then run roll Dort 6-2. They are they are tied with the most amount of experience or teams played in the World Series with the other two Cascade teams. I already went on a Cascade rant. I'm happy to go on another one with you if you would like to at some point while talking about the three Cascade teams because it's another year of multiple
I thought we were gonna
Cascade.
have five at one point.
I am surprised it's only three.
Hmm.
After day one and especially after day two, I was like, we're gonna have 4 or 5 teams in Columbus. Didn't work
Hmm.
out that way, but is what it is. But yeah, Carly, they were 6-3 against College of Idaho and British Columbia, the other World Series teams represented in the Peach State this year. Ayla Davies, she pitched every inning in Columbus a year ago. Excuse me. She pitched every inning of the opening round, and obviously didn't
No
really.
surprise.
Yeah. And the scary thing is you still got Lexi Ramirez in the wings where
Yeah.
you know, could get her in the mix at any time, or if something, God forbid, something happens to Ayla, they've got a number two that they can go to. But yeah, she just surrendered the four earned runs in 20 innings pitched, sub 2 ERA, looking to get to 200 strikeouts for back-to-back years. Had 300 last year. Looking to get to 200. She's sitting at 187. She's got 26 complete games, and I mean, who knows how many that ends up with before the season's all said and done. But yeah, this pitching, it's phenomenal. And that's kind of the thing. At this time of the year, if you don't have an ace, you're probably not here. And every team we're about to talk about, they got an ace. And only one of those aces has got a national championship ring, and that would be Ayla Davies.
That sure would be. Um, and looking at their offense, I mean, Kalia Thomas will look to lead Southern Oregon. In the opening round itself, she went 7 for 12, a couple RBIs, a couple runs scored, and a triple. She had at least 2 hits in all 3 games. And then this season, she's batting 412. She's got a 926 OPS and 27 stolen bases. Vanessa Lang, a big name that we spoke about last World Series, and a team or a name that we've said a lot for Southern Oregon this year. She is looking to be another key bat for Southern Oregon. She's got a 388 batting average, a 912 OPS, and has only been this is my favorite stat that I'll probably mention today. She's only struck out 6 times this year.
They don't strike out. This is
They
just
don't
not a
strike
team that
out.
strike
Laying
outs.
especially.
Yeah. Yeah. They just don't strike out, dude.
Yeah, so she will look to continue her World Series success. In her final 8 at-bats in Columbus, she earned 5 hits last year. Brooke Nordahl, another name that we have mentioned for Southern Oregon many, many times, is also looking to continue her success in Columbus. She got 9 hits there last year, and then this year she leads Southern Oregon with 4 home runs. Ari Williams tied for second in homers with 3 herself, got a 357 batting average, which is third on the team. And overall, just an extremely experienced team, especially at the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, just some quick math for you, real quick. They have struck out 171 times as a team in 1,554 at bats.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty good.
Vanessa Lang only has 6.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
I had 6 in like my first 2 games.
Yeah, no, they're incredible. Look, my question for you, I got a couple actually.
Okay.
We'll have this one first. Does Ayla Davies have to replicate her performance from a year ago for them to win the World Series?
I think she could if she really had to. I genuinely think that she could duplicate last year's performance, but no, she does not have to. They have Lexi Ramirez, who can come in and put up pretty solid numbers behind Ayla Davies. So I think no, she doesn't have to, but if she had to, 1,000%, I'd bet on Ayla Davies any day.
I don't I don't think the pitching has to be better than what it was last year because hard to beat that. The pitching's got to be really, really good because I'm still like the Southern Oregon lineup coming into the World Series is still the kind of thing that I'm a little bit questioning, but it's Nordahl, it's Ari Williams, who wasn't. Did you talk about Ari in there? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, okay,
tied
yeah,
for
yeah,
second in homer. She's got 357 batting average.
yeah. I mean, 17 doubles for her this year, 45 RBIs, leading the team in both of those categories. These are girls with experience. Lexi Ramirez in the lineup, too. Like I don't think it has to be repeated, but it does have to be elite, which of
Hmm.
course we know that's a kind of a blanket statement there. But no, I don't think she's going to have to throw every inning in 8 straight games. I don't think that's going to have to be replicated. So yeah.
My question for unless you want to, do you want to do yours both, and then I'll hit you with mine, or what do you want to do?
No, I kind of talked through mine with that one. I'm
Okay,
good. I'm good.
okay, got it,
We're talking about the lineup. I kind of just yeah, you're good.
got it. Okay, mine for you. How confident are you in the Red Raiders going back to back?
Scale of 1 to 10. About a 6.5. I'd say about 6.5, maybe pushing
Take it,
7. Yeah,
take
I
it.
mean it's not a. I'm gonna go 6.5 because this is a crazy year. It's crazy unpredictable, but I want to be on the Southern Oregon. I've wanted to be on the Southern Oregon train all year. It's been a pretty cool train or ship or plane or whatever it is. I wanted to be on it just after last year. I'm like, of course. After talking with Jessica Pistol a couple hours ago, it's like absolutely. Yeah, I'm not like uber confident. I'm not sitting here like, oh yeah, 8 out of 10. I think I think what,
We
6 out of 10.
we
I
don't
think
want to
six
give
out of
them our
ten.
jinx.
Yeah, no, it would be mine. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. You're not allowed to pick Southern Oregon, by the way. I don't care who you pick to win the World Series. You cannot pick Southern Oregon. We'll
Fair.
do it. We'll do that later. And I mean, if this is the first episode you've tuned into, spoiler, if you've tuned into recent episodes, it is what it is. Like I'm rocking with the Raiders. I'll go down with the ship. It just, yeah. If they go 0-2 out of Columbus, I'll hold my head high picking Southern Oregon. It is what it is. It's a crazy year, so I'll say 6.5 out of 10. I feel like, not like super confident, but I was like Southern Oregon. I mean, why not? However, if you're a Southern Oregon fan, be confident, be borderline cocky, because you see the teams I root for right here, especially that one. I know it's been a couple of years, and even I mean, hey, my Atlanta Braves are freaking hot right now, dude. Dude, they're playing some good baseball. And after last year's crappy baseball, I'm really happy. Let me stop. Let me go off tangent. You're the team to beat. You are the team to beat. Fan
Yeah.
base. I'm
Everyone
not.
wants
I'm
to
not.
beat
I'm
you.
not saying be jerks. I'm not saying walk around with your nose up and all that. But I feel like, yeah, we should win this. Why not? Why not? It's sports. Have fun.
Yeah.
Carly, let's move on to a team that was in the World Series National Championship game at my first ever time in Columbus, Georgia.
Hmm.
That was with covering Sun Conference Athletics. Shout out the Weber International Warriors. Which, by the way, Carly, like, you know how hype I get for the World Series and all that.
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine me if Weber ever gets back to Columbus?
Oh, good God. Watch out, everyone.
Like, I don't know if I could do the podcast. Like, I don't. If Weber ever gets good at softball again, I don't know. Because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, this is cool. Like, just seeing Southeastern, and a team I've covered over the last half decade now at this point. Um, and I'm like, man, this is cool. But Lord help us
It's
if
different
my
when it's your alma mater.
it is. The Mobile Rams, they were there 2022. Coach Allison Sellers Cook, she's creeping up on 400 wins, 374 of them, Johns, into heading into Columbus. And I tell you, Carly, they have got a real good record against teams in the World Series. 4-1, split with Southeastern, beat
Hmm.
Cumberlands twice, beat Our Lady of the Lake 2-1 now. Granted, all of those were over 2 months ago, because the Southern States got 5 teams in, one team into the World Series. You know what? That's one I just want a quick tangent here. You were very confident in William Carey coming out of
I
Hattiesburg.
was. I was. That was one of my more confident ones,
Yeah,
actually.
you know what? I guess you know what, we can kind of put a pin in that because Mobile fans do not want to hear us talk about William Carey. Let's put a pin in that. Let's bring it back up when we talk about Marian later. But Carly, I'm gonna let you start it off because my long lost distant cousin Avery Harrell, her and her circle partner Caitlin Kempton, if the Rams are going to bring that red banner back, it's going to be on the shoulders of those two pretty heavily.
Yes, yes. Two very talented pitchers. I mean, Harrell is and has been the workhorse for Mobile this year. She leads the team with 186 innings pitched. In that time, she has earned herself a 1.66 ERA with a .95 WHIP and 85 strikeouts. Kempton, she's gotten 101 innings of work, has a 1.17 ERA with a .89 WHIP and 39 strikeouts. So not a team that's, I mean, two pitchers that aren't really going to, they're not strikeout heavy. But this offense and this defense is what helps. They all come together, you know?
Yeah, no, you hit it with the defense. You don't have to have a big strikeout
You
or
don't.
a bunch of strikeout stuff. When you have one of the best defensive teams in college softball, not NAIA softball, in college softball, this is a team fielding at a 98.1% click. Carly, you're a former shortstop. How insane is that number?
That's insane, dude.
Like, that's crazy
That's
impressive.
really hard to do.
Yeah, and they're not going to wow you with the power numbers, but they hit contact. I mean, Deanna Arcade, Lucy Spisto, Darlene Rivas, hitters for the Rams, all batting over 415. As Arcade leads the way with a 437 batting average, with 23 extra base hits. Gracie Mitchell was red hot in the opening round, with 12 hits, which, by the way, just going back to their opening round, Carly, how impressive is it for them to handle Indiana Tech, but then lose to Eastern Oregon, and then look at who they had at the face coming in. You get Indiana Tech with Savannah Bravo in the circle, which we know is two
Hmm.
totally different teams. When Bravo is pitching, which, by the way, tip the cap, heck of a career, all time leading strikeout leader for Indiana Tech. Great ball player, great. But her just finishing up her senior year really makes me feel unk status because I saw her pitching her first opening round action in 23. But whatever. But then to go and beat Eastern Oregon twice, huge tip of the cap to the Mobile Rams. Incredibly impressive
Yeah, I
opening
mean,
round
beating
run.
any team twice to send yourself to the World Series after having to go through the losers bracket is insanely impressive. But to do it to a team like Eastern Oregon, who has huge bats and, like I said, was one win away from the World Series, I tip my cap.
No, 100%. All right, Carly, let's get into it. So this offense for Mobile batting 331 as a team, the by far the lowest amount of extra base hits. I'm sorry, not extra base hits, because there's one team with less, but in the home run category, 10 less than the next to last, with only four home
Hmm.
runs as a group, which would be very funny now if they go hit like 4 or 5 home runs as a team
Can you imagine?
in Columbus. Does this offense have enough firepower to make an actual run at a red banner?
When you say actual run, how far do you see? What qualifies it a run?
You make it past Sunday.
Make it past Sunday.
Like you're playing ball, and like into Monday, you're playing ball.
I think yes, because although they don't have the one or two players that has those big bats and the huge, insane amount of extra base hits and RBIs and everything, whatever. You look at how they've performed against other teams in the World Series, and they still manage to put up runs against some pretty impressive pitchers. So I'm going to go yes with my answer.
Yeah, I agree, and I just feel like that's a stat that's so weird. It's like I hope it's not wrong, and I hope we haven't like messed up stats because it's weird. They're Mobile. Please, a change for next year. Can we please get when we go to your stats? Can we just have it like every other team in the country? University of Mobile Sports Information. Can we have it like every other team in the country where it's boom, click there, and it's not taking us to the 2024
Presto.
NAI Presto website? It's very annoying. Okay, Carly, your question for the Rams.
Yes. Okay, well, it kind of relates to my answer here. How much stock do you put in their 4-1 record versus the other World Series teams?
Yeah, I'll be honest, not a lot, just because it was so early. I mean, we're talking about something like mid to early February to early March, were when these games were played. Not a lot. Now, that's not taking away from Mobile. This is a great team. It's a very well coached team. I'm a huge Allison Sellers Cook fan. Had a fun fact here. Had her and Avery Harrell on a couple of years ago on the day that Toby Keith died. I remember that.
RIP.
Oh, dude, that sucked. I was like, I do not want to do an interview right now. I just want to drink for my red Solo cup and be left alone. But it is what it is. It was great. Great interview. It cheered me right up. I'm a huge fan of them. And do I put much stock in those wins? No, because they were this so long ago, and all these teams are different. Um, but hey, you know what? If they play Southeastern Cumberlands or Our Lady of the Lake, well, then you got a little data point. Or they do play OLLU. They open up with OLLU. So there you
Hmm.
go. So you have a little bit of a data point, but it's even. And speaking of OLLU, Carly, we head to probably, at least coaching wise, I would say the most impressive job getting their team into the World Series, because Amanda Devia takes over in middle of the season. The head coach at the time left go. Obviously, it was a coaching change, anyways, with Bruce heading to Cumberlands. Carly, they won a 13 inning ball game.
Yeah.
An hour later, they're putting belt to Oregon Tech. Like
Yeah.
they jumped on Oregon Tech's neck, and they just never let them up for the next 14 innings over that game, and the game the day after. They said, we are going to suffocate you in your own backyard. And it was the most jaw-dropping, unbelievable performance until British Columbia did what they did. But whatever, we'll get into that later. Our
Hmm.
Lady of the Lake, Carly, they go through the losers bracket, beating Dickinson State, then Oregon Tech twice, 0-2 against other World Series teams. So not much of a scouting report on them. But hey, this is a team that you cannot forget. There's World Series experience there.
There
There are
is.
plenty of players that have a national championship ring on their finger. So
Hmm. Yeah. And we'll start with the offense because it is arguably the hottest team offensively in the country. They were in the opening round, they averaged 12.8 hits per game. Um, and kind of what we just touched on, I mean, doing that against Oregon Tech is insanely impressive. Lily Roca was the key for them. She hit 4 home runs during the opening round, including a walk-off Jimmy. She leads OLLU with 9 homers this season. She's batting 391, has 37 RBIs. Ariana Alejandro, another big threat for the Saints. She's batting 428 and leads the team with 39 RBIs. She herself recorded 9 hits in the opening round. Caitlin Casas, a name that I certainly remember saying this year. She has also been a key hitter. She's got a 352 average, couple home runs under her belt. And then she is an absolute force for them at the third base position as well. She's fielding 960 in 125 opportunities. She's hitting 355. The team is hitting 355 with an on base percentage of 440. And like I said, possibly the hottest lineup in the country right now.
Yeah, I mean, 355, one of the best of any teams entering the field, third amongst all teams. They're second with 156 extra base hits. That's 10 behind College of Idaho's 166. It's a disgusting lineup that just plays gritty OLLU softball. You've played against some, Carly. I know
Hmm.
you've had
A lot,
success.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, and look, all right, let's go ahead and talk about it. We all know the matchup we all want to see, right? Let's be honest. As NAIA softball fans, Cumberlands versus OLLU would be one of the more hyped matchups I've ever covered. It would be insane, and it would just be interesting to see how both coaches, how both teams, how both whatever respond. I don't think either team's going to care though. Before
No.
that matchup happens, now, once it happens, it's going to be on. Like, it just is what it is. The fan bases, everything is just going to be on. Bruce may call in sick. I don't know. But I don't think either team is going to care before that. I think both teams are just going to put their heads down. And we'll talk about Cumberland in a second. This is such a gritty team that just goes. And my first question to you, Carly, does that team have did they have enough left in the mental gas tank to go on a World Series run after what they just went through this season and after what they just went through in Klamath Falls? Do they have enough mental fuel left? Or, go ahead, just answer that and then we can go from there.
I think so because, I mean, what do you got to lose?
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's
They
already an
they've been
incredible
through the
season.
ringer this year, yeah, and they've proven themselves.
Yeah,
I don't
and
I don't know what word it is I'm looking for, but they've proven
gritty,
themselves.
tough,
Gritty. Yeah.
resilient, electric.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hard.
I mean, we have such a phenomenal like the everybody listening. Do y'all realize how good day one of the World Series is this year? Like you've got Mobile and OLLU, phenomenal softball game. It's a 4-5 game. That's always the 4-5 is always going to be your most competitive, your best game of day one. Okay. Then you got Southern Oregon and Cumberlands. The last three national championships have run through there. I mean, in fact, every national championship except for Oklahoma City's in 2022, every one since 2019 because USAO won in 2018. Enough said. And also
Hmm.
the brands themselves, the Southern Oregon brand, the Cumberland's brand speaks for itself. And then you got two rivalry games: College of Idaho, British Columbia, and Indiana Wesleyan, Marian, which we'll talk about those teams in a little bit. That's so hype. Okay, my second question for Our Lady of the Lake, I have for you is the pitching. It's kind of a two-parter. Is the
Okay.
pitching good enough? Slash, does it matter with how good they're swinging the bat?
Yes, I think the pitching is good enough. They shut down a very good, I wouldn't say shut down because they did, Oregon Tech did score 8 runs in the 2 games
They
against
held in
them.
check. They held in check.
Yes, they kept them in check. And they've won a lot of games this year with Anika Laterio and Valeria Vielma. So yes, I think that the pitching is good enough. but I think it does matter a little bit how hot the bats are. I think the bats being super hot is going to give the pitchers confidence.
Yeah, and look, Laterdo's had a phenomenal season. I mean,
Hmm.
171 strikeouts, 2.27 ERA, a whip just above one, and Viema very solid too. Over 100 strikeouts and a sub three ERA. I mean, that's the recipe for a good performance. And she pitched well. Both of them pitched well. In particularly Viema, she pitched really well up in Klamath Falls. So yeah, I think it's a pitching staff that I'm like, oh yeah, they're going like we've talked about with Southern Oregon and the other four teams we've talked about like pitching, pitching, pitching. No, pitching's not going like they're not going to win the World Series winning 3-2, 1-0, 2-1 ball games. Like they're going, I think they're going to have to win some games, kind of similar to how Southern Oregon did in 23. Like they put up a ton of runs. It's not going to be like how OLLU won it in 24 because hey, Laterio, great pitcher. Viema, great pitcher and Cassie Valdez. But they combine together to have a good enough performance where that lineup can put them in position where at the end of the day, just gotta have one more run than the other team.
Yeah. My question to you is we've touched briefly on the kind of coaching for OLU this year and the offseason, whatever. Will the mental preparation be different for the World Series with Coach Amanda Davia at the helm?
I'm sure it's a little bit different. I mean, a new coach is going to have her flavor. Whatever that recipe is, coach, don't change it up because it's obviously working for you. I mean, winning the Red River tournament, which was a really good conference this year, winning the Klamath Falls opening round, we've already spent enough air talking about how impressive that was. And honestly, when you're a young coach, you know what's the best thing for you? Having veteran leadership. They've got Lily Roca.
Roka.
They've got two really solid pitchers. They got Caitlin Casas. They've got Ariana Alejandro. They've got so many names that have been there, done that. They're no, this is I'm not worried about the mental preparation really at all for OLU, and they're going to be a really tough out. It's going to be tough to beat them.
Well,
Let's move on to
you want to move on
yeah, I'm good. I don't have anything else on them at this point.
to
We
number
get
6?
to the former coach of Our Lady of the Lake and our good friend Papa Bruce Lennington. Man, what a crazy year for Cumberlands. Here's a fun
Hmm.
stat. Shout out Michael Fairchild. He put up this stat for us.
I read that. Actually, that was awesome, that part.
Cumberlands has lost more games entering the World Series this year than they had the previous 3 years entering the World Series combined. What an insane stat. We talked a little bit about that with Bruce and like, hey, how's it different with you usually being a one seed at OLU and these girls at Cumberland's being a one seed? And we talked a little bit about that, turned into to our coach's interview for that. And man, I'm still just like it points this year. It's like this Cumberland's team. It's like, what are they doing? Are they that good? And it's like opening round. It's like, oh yeah, it's Cumberland's led by Bruce Lennington. Of course, they're going to win their opening round and make it in. They are 1-3 against teams that are in the World Series right
Hmm.
now. They lost twice to Mobile earlier in the year. They split a doubleheader with Madonna later in the year. That's really about the latest matchup that we see, other than some opening round or conference tournament stuff amongst teams. The teams that are in the World Series have played, but yeah, look and it's got to be Grace Ross. Like Grace Ross has just got to be a monster. I am very interested to see how teams
She
pitch
does.
pitch to Grace Ross.
Don't.
Yeah, I
Here's
think
my recommendation. Do not.
yeah, it's tough because he's the leadoff hitter. And that's why Bruce puts her in leadoff.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you want to start the game off with your pitcher having a walk? Okay. But dude, I mean, batting 412, 19 doubles, 18 home runs, 31 walks to 60 RBIs. Malia Clinton, her ability to get on is going to be important too, and being able to swipe bags. But man, they are, yeah, Grace Ross. It's Grace Ross. And now Mackenzie Henderson, another name of the lineup. She missed a good part of the year injured. She came back and I mean, look, if it's not for her, who knows? They may not have even gotten a chance to play Kaiser. She had the go-ahead home run against Saint Xavier. Played great defensively. Has let Grace have a little bit of time off from behind the plate. Put Grace out in right field or DH her or whatever. Give her a little bit chance to save her legs a little bit, which we know how important keeping your legs underneath you are. And Carly, I'd love for you to speak to that. The nutrition, the battle of nutrition. How important is that on going on a World Series run?
Who it's important. Not even just nutrition, like hydration. Like Georgia's hot.
Yeah.
I absolutely cooked last year. But yeah, the nutrition's the hardest part. You got to keep your body fueled and um I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fuel is energy, food is energy.
Get after it. Carly, in the opening round recap, I gave a bouquet of flowers to Jessica Cord because she deserved them. She was incredible in the opening round. She's going to have to be incredible again for them to bring a red banner back to Williamsburg.
Yeah, she I mean, Kaiser put it to Southeastern. And I was a little bit scared that they might do the
Well,
same to
that kind of answered one of my big questions because I can't remember if you were on that episode at that point or not. That was one of my big questions for Kaiser. Can you hit good pitching, or did you just see Fia Zelenka that many times and
Mhm.
Eda Palaya that many times? And
I think that
unfortunately,
answered it.
yes, it did.
Yeah, because Jessica Cord did a great job holding her own. She has done a pretty good job holding her own entirely this year. She's got a 1.69 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, and 133 Ks on the year. She has pitched 24 complete games. She's got 235 and two-thirds innings of work behind her. Emily Delgado is the closest in innings worked behind Jessica with 66. She's collected 53 strikeouts. She's 9-2. She's sitting at a 2.76 ERA. But Jessica Cord, she will be busy in Columbus.
I agree. You mentioned Emily Delgado. She's a big X factor for me. Delgado's either got to be big with the bat or big in the circle, one or the other. She's got to have
Yep.
a good week in week plus in Columbus for them to go on a run, and one or the other, probably both. She's going to need to step up in moments. But yeah, she's a big X factor in this. Okay, Carly, you're either you're either going to make them happy or you're going to give Bruce some big time bulletin board right here.
Hmm.
What do you think is more likely? The Cumberlands Patriots have a run like Bruce's run in 23, where they went to and barbecue, or their second trip in 24, where they won the World Series?
I wish I could give like the perfect in between answer. Like, no, I don't think they're gonna go to a barbecue, but they're not gonna go win the dang thing. Um,
That's the fun part
but
about this question.
I know
This is also just a main question for me to ask you. Like,
it is. It's
this
so
isn't,
screwed.
yeah.
Bruce texted me earlier this week and I told him I was like, can't believe I ever doubted you in the Pats. Uh
I know
sorry I ever doubted you.
that's like two cardinal sins for you, like doubting Bruce and then doubting the Pats.
I know. And I'm about to do it again. Um I don't think they make a run like the second one. Um I think it'll be closer to like Bruce's first trip. I'm not going to say that they're going to go 0-2 because this is a talented lineup, especially with Grace Ross and Jessica Cord's experience throughout the season. But I think it'll be closer to their first World Series trip.
It's just a tough draw for them.
It is. I
It's
mean,
tough. I mean, you get started off with Southern Oregon. It's like,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Who do they ask your go ahead, ask your question. I'm gonna look up the bracket real quick.
Okay. Um, can Jessica Cord repeat her opening round performance?
I think she can repeat her opening round performance. The problem is she would have to repeat it again. Like she may be able to put together two good games,
Hmm.
two and a half good games, but can she put together six good games? I don't know. So let's see. Let's say Southern Oregon wins. Game three loser versus game four loser. So they would play either British Columbia or College of Idaho. I could see them winning that. I could definitely see them
Yeah,
winning that.
yeah,
I also, let's say Southeastern wins that. Southeastern, I like, and I think they also have a tough draw. I like Southeastern to come out of that whoever they play, whatever Cascade team they play. I think they get through that. I hate Southeastern's matchup. If they do win that, they do win that Friday game, Southeastern, whoever they play, Southern Oregon or Cumberlands, that's a tough one. That's a
Yeah.
tough one. That's really tough. Ooh, under the lights too. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so
Mm,
fun. That's gonna be so
bang.
fun. Bang. You good on the pets?
I'm good.
Okay. Now we get in.
ESGP.
Now we get into the real shockers. Now I think now we enter the category of like, oh, you're in Columbus? Oh,
The,
you
C-
won your
the
like
Cinderellas.
yeah. Now we've entered and all four teams can win it because it's that kind of year and it's softball, but it's that kind of year. But what I mean by those last statements, it's like, holy cow, we did not like you. You were a dark horse for sure, but like you weren't my first or second pick. All these other teams, everybody else we picked first or second pick to win this,
Hmm. Hmm.
except for maybe Mobile. Kind of, I was what going back to it. Here's how we viewed the Mobile regional. It was whoever won the Eastern Oregon Campbellsville game, and then Mobile. Like that was whatever. The next four teams we are about to talk about, I don't think we had one or two. But one team that you have been on since the beginning of the year and you have carried their flag very valiantly all the way through a very strong Cascade Conference tournament run and winning in Chickasha as Coach Al Mendiola and College of Idaho Yotes. Oh boy. This lineup,
Go Yotes.
this lineup is disgusting, especially
They can
in the
swing
power.
it.
Yes, they lead all World Series teams with 166 extra base hits and 51 home runs to go along with a .334 batting average. And the way Keena Watts and Drew Williams, but especially Watts, was able to pitch in Oklahoma, that should be a big concern for everybody else because if they're able to hold teams down to 4, 3, 6 runs, how they were able to in their opening round, that team can win the national championship.
They can swing it, dude.
Yeah.
They can absolutely swing it. And you look up the offense that they put up in opening rounds. They put up 7 against LSUA, 6 against USAO, and then 10 against LSUA. Again, you look at Madeline Powell and Kenna Watts. Those are two of the brightest bats, as they both went 5 for 10 in the opening round. Powell batting .390. She has 12 home runs and 61 RBIs. Watts 405 batting average, 9 home runs, 51 RBIs. I mean, those two, watch out.
They're disgusting, dude. I mean, their lineup up and down. I mean, you mentioned Keena Watts, Madeline Powell, but Cameron Ham as well having a phenomenal year, batting .355, 16 stolen bases. Haley Campbell batting .344. Chloe Flerchiker batting .343 as well. It's nasty. It's a very nasty 1 through 5. And I tell you, the scary part is the bottom of that lineup. That's if the bottom of that lineup is able to just bat 260 and just have a couple of timely hits, like that 6 through 9,
Hmm.
if they can just have some timely hits and turn the lineup over at the right time,
Literally, all you got to do is get on.
not only could they beat British Columbia, I think that puts them in a great spot if they're able to do that. I mean, because if they put up a 6 or 7 spot against Southeastern, I don't know if Southeastern's got that kind of firepower in them to overcome that. And next thing you know, you're sitting in the quarterfinal and you're either playing a Cumberlands team with pitching that's going to be, well, it's pitching with a day's rest. Fair enough if it is Cumberlands, but we'll see if that pitching can hold up. Or you're facing Southern Oregon, who you've seen that pitching plenty, and all of a sudden, College of Idaho could be looking up, and we're looking at Monday, and they're in the winners bracket facing whoever from the other half, and it's like, is College of Idaho a win away from the national championship game? Oh yeah, they are. So I see the path. I see the path for sure. Big thing for me, got to play clean softball.
Hmm.
They have the lowest fielding percentage of any team in Columbus this year by a few points, and they play on turf. Yeah, they're turf. They have turf. You're a shortstop. You played in Columbus.
I
That
did.
is a hard place to field a hard hit ground ball.
It is.
It is.
Especially
How,
as a team that's used to turf where there are no bad hops.
Yeah, how would you describe the dirt in Columbus?
Uh, God, it's been so long.
Hard, bouncy, soft, what,
Trying to remember.
little unpredictable.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I mean, it was a pretty well kept field. I do remember
It is very well kept.
our first it rained before. It was pretty wet
That's
those
another
first few
factor.
days.
Yeah, the rain and everything that would change it up. To me, the what I hear is it's very bouncy. It's very bouncy. It takes hard bounces off
It
of it.
does, but it wasn't those first few days because of how wet it was.
Yeah. Um, Drew Williams saw a good bit of action this year, or the majority of the action pitching wise for College of Idaho this year. 158 innings pitched, 14 and 9, 3.72 ERA. But Keno Watts, who we've talked about what she done with the bat, we talked about in our opening round recap. Unbelievable. And 2.44 ERA, 11 and 2, just now approaching 100 innings pitched. So she's more than fresh. I tell you, of these teams, of the four teams, I know this is, or we'll say the five teams, we'll throw um, Cumberlands in the mix. So your 6 through 10 seeds. If I were to pick a team to win the national championship, it would be College of Idaho.
I like it.
I think they got the lineup for it. And
They do. They have a very talented lineup.
yeah, and just kind of going back, we talked about the regionals for NCAA and how, it's just so offensive heavy. They're the most like that in this field, so I could see that kind of translating the way it has translated in the NCAA Division One regionals. But we'll see. Question time, Carly, College of Idaho. Are you here because you were the best team in Chickasha, or did you catch an LSUA team that's just been up and down all year and is what it is? And then you obviously call it. I mean, you jumped down USAO, but did you catch USAO on a bad day? So College of Idaho, are you here because you were the best team in Chickasha, or did you catch some good teams on a bad day?
Um, I think I'm gonna say I want to say offensively they were the best team in Chickasha. I think they have the most.
Pop.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. The most pop, the most maybe a little bit consistency through the lineup. Um, so I'm gonna say they were the best team in Chickasha. I'm sorry, USAO, LSUA, love ya, but
I think
it's
they
the
were
way
the
it is.
second. I think they were the second best team in Chickasha. I am shocked. We're going back to back years. No Jaden Wallace. No Greg Stewart.
Yeah,
That is shocking. Um, I'm not gonna say that they just caught them on a bad day, and I'm not gonna take away from that because they went 3-0 through a very as a 3 seed and a difficult
hmm
regional
My
side.
thing is look at the Cascade compared to
Sure, good point. Good point. Fair point. Yeah, I mean, look, Cascade flexes its muscle once again. So, which by the way, if you said like, hey, three Cascade teams got in, I mean, what would you have said? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Southern Oregon, Oregon Tech, Houston, Oregon.
that's
Not quite.
exactly what I would have said.
Yeah, you and everybody else. So, all right, what you got?
Um, who do you see having more time in the circle? Kenna Watts or Drew Williams?
I think Keena Watts. I think that was shown in the opening round, but I think it will be kind of similar to what we talked about with Southeastern. I think Coach Almendiola is going to look matchup wise, see what works best for him, and also Keena Watts. You got to produce in the lineup too. So let's
hmm
see. As you mentioned it, it's hot, and I mean, look, I know it's hot in Chickasha, and they did well and all that. It's longer, it's hotter, it's more difficult. It pushes you more. So we'll see. We'll see. And also,
Start hydrating now.
if you're just now starting to hydrate for your time in Columbus, you're in trouble because a lot of these girls are coming down the next day or two to start their practice. So they're
That's
gonna find
true.
out. They're gonna find out real quick. We talked about Coach Amanda for Our Lady of the Lake. Incredibly impressive what she did with getting her team to the World Series. Equally as impressive, Coach Kelsey Koistra for Indiana Wesleyan. First year at her alma mater after a solid career coaching at Cornerstone. Unbelievable. Beat Missouri Baptist, which we'll talk about Avery
hmm
Toole in a second. But Carly, I was high on them. You were jumping through the roof for Lindsey Wilson,
I was.
and they beat the crud out of them.
They did, Coach Caleb. Sorry.
And then they beat the crud out of John. Hey, by the way, tip of the cap, Dana Carter, Johnson Royals making it to
Great
a regional
run.
championship. Yeah, great job. Great job from them. Unbelievable, Carly. Just absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, look, the 8-9 matchup, it's them. It's Marian. It's going to be 4 o'clock, sun setting in Columbus. Going to be absolutely phenomenal. And this lineup, Carly, it is extremely dynamic and they hit for
Hmm.
contact. They lead all teams in the World Series with a 368 batting average. Also very fast. They lead all teams with 131 swipe bags. They're led by Courtney Thomas. She had the final hit in the opening round for the run rule walk-off single victory over the Johnson Royals, batting 429, entering Columbus. Danica Fuller batting 429 as well. That duo's combined for 67 RBIs and 177 total bases. And they've just got some players, Carly, that just have a little bit of it to them. I think Briley Bilger is going to have a massive weekend or
Hmm.
week in Columbus. Not her craziest or best year statistically for the Wildcats, but over her career, we're talking about 85 extra base hits, 50 home runs. Morgan Yeater, phenomenal. She swiped 158 bags, batting over 415 at her time at Indiana Wesleyan. She's batting 392 with 38 swipe bags this year. Ton of experience in that lineup, a ton of pop, a ton of different ways to beat you. And they just got that swagoo about them, and I can't wait. I can't wait to watch them compete. They're such a fun team. Remember, I was there a year ago.
You were.
You were up at Indiana Wesleyan for opening round. You played there. It's a
I
special
was.
place. It's a great program. Yeah,
They've
they're
got some of the
exciting.
nicest facilities I've seen
No, 100%. Yeah, we talk
overall, right
about
up there with Cumberlands.
their new 100 or not 100, but 30 million. Yeah, just a light 30, not
Yeah,
130.
nothing.
Yeah, a light $30 million basketball arena. We talked about that with Coach Koister. That was fun. But Carly, freshman pitcher, not acting like a freshman. Avery Toole leading the way in the circle.
Well, and at this point in the season, you're basically a sophomore, but
Correct.
Avery Toole, probably 99% chance that she's going to pitch for IWU. 2.28 ERA, a 1.21 whip with 133 strikeouts. She gave up just 2 earned runs in her 9 inning complete game against Missouri Baptist in the opening round, which um, you said I was jumping through the roof for Lindsey Wilson. I was also jumping through the roof for Mobat at different times throughout the season. So,
We, where I will credit us in something we have done well is we try to stay very positive on this
mhm,
podcast.
mhm.
I have a negative statement.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Missouri Baptist, was this a disappointing season?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. We thought they were going to win
I
the
think
heart. We thought they were going to win an opening
they
round.
did win the heart. They did win the heart.
Well,
Regular
tournament
season.
too.
Regular season.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tournament. Yeah. But yeah, it's also disappointing because of how many people they graduate. I'm shocked. I look, if their season would have ended to Indiana Wesleyan or Lindsey Wilson in a regional championship, it was like, okay, you know what? You got back to where you were a year ago. Remember, they were in a regional championship, lost twice to Oklahoma City.
Hmm.
To go 0-2, man,
That stings.
yeah, and it's like I can't confidently say they're going to be as good as they are next year. So we'll see. It's tough. It's tough. Okay, my question I talked about it a little bit a second ago, Carly. Is this the most dynamic lineup in Columbus this year?
Yes. I think
Mm.
so.
Who's second? And is it close?
Hmm. Let's look at my options here.
I think you got to throw. We just talked about.
I would throw Southern Oregon and Madonna in the mix.
Yeah, I would say Madonna's a close.
OLLU.
I would say Madonna's a close second. I take
Hmm.
OLLU and College of Idaho and kind of put them on the side because like they're going to beat you with a bunch of like power slugging, like the slugging
Yeah.
numbers are
Yeah.
going to do it for you. Um, Indiana Wesleyan can do it. However, like it could be a Bilger grand slam, it could be Yeater clearing the bases, it could be wreaking havoc because you don't have a good. If you, I tell you what, bad matchup. If you don't have a good defensive catcher, your pitcher better keep that team off the bases. That could be a big problem for some teams with not the strongest catcher. So put a pin in that and just remember it. Um, Okay, but yeah, I agree. You know what? I disagree. I think Madonna's got the most dynamic lineup in Columbus, but I think it's 1 and 1A with Indiana Wesleyan.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I do think Madonna's got the most dynamic lineup, meaning they can kind of beat you however they choose to.
Yeah. Um, well, I'm gonna kind of copy your previous question here. Is IWU here because they were the best team in Columbia, or did they catch Lindsey Wilson and Mobap on bad weekends?
Yes and no. To that because I do think they caught Missouri Baptist on a bad weekend because Mobap going 0-2. And who did Mobap lose to? Johnson or Tennessee Southern or something like that? Where just
Both.
like, no, not they didn't
No,
lose
they
to
lost.
both.
It was Tennessee Southern, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, whatever with Mobap. But Lindsey Wilson won the Mid South regular season, played great down the stretch, taking 2 or 3 Campbellsville, won their conference tournament.
Hmm.
Just
I
they
think
got hot.
now looking back at it, was the writing on the wall with Lindsey Wilson when they won their final, what was it, 2 games of the conference tournament with walk-offs? Like the magic kind of ran
No,
out.
no, because that's against Campbellsville and Cumberlands, who are really good ball clubs.
True.
So no, I
True.
don't. Because like here's why. I mean, here because I didn't pick Lindsey Wilson because I thought it was going to be Missouri Baptist having a big game offensively against them. It just
Hmm.
I got the plot right. I just got the actresses wrong. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was going. That's pretty good.
That's good.
I thought it was going to be Mobap going up there and putting like a 10-11
Yeah.
spot on that very small ballpark, and I was wrong. It was Indiana Wesleyan. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to him. Oh, I got another question.
Okay.
Or is this your question that you wanted to ask? I can't
It could go
remember.
either way. Either one of
Oh,
us can have it.
yeah, we're both going to talk about it. What percentage chance do you give freshman Avery Toole having an Ayla Davies type performance, which means she's the World Series MVP and Indiana Wesleyan wins the national championship?
Mm. Let's see here. Who do they kick off their World
Marion.
Series with? That's right.
They start
That's
with
right. The 8-9.
Marion, and then they play Madonna, and then they would play the winner of OLLU and Mobile would be their trip to the semifinal.
Okay. Um, this is really hard.
I have a shot in the dark answer. I think it's like a
I'm sitting around like 65%
oh
chance. Is that
wow. That's way yeah. I had like 25% because I think for them to win the World Series, like they're gonna have to win like a
I forget that they have to win it.
9-8. Yeah.
I was
No,
just
no. I'm
thinking
saying
like
when I say
performing
Ayla
like Ayla
Davies
Davies
performance, no. I mean Ayla Davies performance. I mean national
every single
champion.
pitch,
No,
national champion.
not all right. Here's what I mean. World Series MVP, national champion.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Okay, yeah, never mind. Not that high.
I do
Sorry.
not think Avery Toole. If Indiana Wesleyan wins the national championship, I don't think Avery Toole's their MVP.
No, I think it's going to be someone in the offense.
I agree. So but counterpoint, the last four or five, 4 or 5 World Series MVP have been pitchers. So
Yeah.
we'll
Usually
see.
it's pretty like it's like the easiest choice, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So I'm going to stick around 20-25%
Yeah,
chance
I'm
because
gonna
she
lower
could do
mine
it.
because I don't see them probably winning the whole thing,
Sure.
but
Sure. Okay.
I think she could perform in their games at like an Ayla Davies type level.
Sure. Okay.
You picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah, no. I agree. And look, I mean, Ayla. I mean, there were a couple games where Ayla got rocked a little bit. The second Marion game was when she had that big inning where there was an error
Hmm.
mixed in and all that. So there were times where the lineup certainly had to pick her up. But let's keep things moving, and we're not having to go far at all from Marion, Indiana with Indiana Wesleyan to the Marian Knights with Scott Fleming and his 855 career wins. Man, he's so awesome. I love talking with him. Great
Yeah.
guy. Um, and this is where we can talk about it. 4-0, Macy Cohen. I in my humble opinion, if we had an MVP for the opening round, it would be Macy Cohen and what she did with one
Hmm.
earned run in 300, one run total in 300 innings. Carly, you were super confident William Carey was going to walk out of there.
I was.
I was
I
pretty
cannot lie.
confident.
I texted Reagan when the
I wasn't gonna say
uh
this, but go ahead, go ahead.
I'll out myself. I
Yeah,
will. Um
you don't have to be in Columbus this year, so yeah, go off.
well, hey, at least I'm truthful.
Yeah, yeah.
Um I texted when all the opening round sides came out and who was going where. I said, William Carey, we'll see you in Columbus. So,
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say I love the
and
message, but
no hate to Marian. I mean,
no, or Coastal Georgia, Columbia, Georgia Gwinnett, the other teams there, but and then we need to check this. Nope, never mind, because Southeastern beat every team in their regional site, but they're one of the few teams that beat every team at their regional site. Correct? No, they did not play. They didn't play Coastal Georgia, so whatever. That was just so stupid and so wrong, Reagan, idiot.
you tried.
Yeah, I did. The only teams they played that are in the World Series, Indiana Wesleyan, and we get Game 5. Super excited for that. But yeah, Macy Cohen though was just unreal. 32 innings pitched in Williamsburg, which by the way, great site to go to because if you want a location that's kind of similar to Columbus as far as heat and humidity, Hattiesburg not a bad one to go to. But yeah, 32 innings pitched for Cohen. The one run, that's a .22 ERA. Incredible. And by the way, that was against Columbia in the 3-1 game. She responded very same day, 11 inning shutout
Hmm.
against a William Carey lineup that we know has power. And I mean, just a solid lineup. Um, yeah. And then the defense around her was phenomenal because she's not a strikeout pitcher, but the defense was really strong behind her. And that's something Marion really prides themselves in. Another team north of 97% mark and just solid all around. And yeah, I mean, this was a Marion team that started in the top 10, left the top 25, and they're
Hmm.
one of the last 10 teams standing, Carly.
Yeah, they got a couple Abbeys that have led the way. Abby Hoffman, 395 batting average. She's got four Jimmies and has swiped a team high 29. The other Abby, Abby Madeir, another key bat for the Knights. She has eight long balls to go along with her 389 batting average. A couple other important names for that Marion lineup: Delaney Rundle, Lily Went, a big one that we have mentioned in years previous. Rundle was 5 for 10 in Monday's doubleheader, and then went a combined 4 for 6 in the final two games. Rundle a 383 batting average this season. Went a 306 and a long ball under her belt. But more importantly, the Abbeys are, I think, the two key factors for Marion here in their World Series trip.
Yeah, I agree. And also, players with experience. And let's not
Hmm.
forget that team got their heart ripped out and stomped on by Southern Oregon a year ago. Like
They did.
their only two losses, their only fault was they couldn't win an extra inning game with Southern Oregon. They were three
Yep.
outs away from eliminating them. They played in a 12 inning thriller against them and beat them. They beat Southern Oregon. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had that wrong. Yeah, they beat Southern Oregon in the first game. That's right, 3-2 in
Hmm.
that 12 inning thriller. And
Yep.
then they lose to Southern Oregon, and then they just ran out of gas and got rolled by Eastern Oregon. But it's such a great team, really well run. And I said this with Coach Koistra in the interview. It's like one of the nicest rivalries in NAIA softball, but I'm telling you, it's going to be intense. Those dugouts are
Hmm.
going to be rocking. The stands are going to be rocking because it's two fan bases. I know they're going to travel really well. Super excited for that one between Marion and Indiana Wesleyan in the 8-9 matchup. Carly, our questions. My first one, well, I only have one for you, but I'll ask it before you ask yours. Can Macy Cohen repeat what she just did? Because that was just incredible.
You know what? Let's see here. They played four games, the opening
Yeah,
round.
they played 4 games in 3 days. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think, and it was in the right environment. I think she can. I will put a cap though on how many games that she can repeat that performance, but I think she can for the most part.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to get some help at some point, whether that's Alexi Smiths or it's a Eliana Tesnar coming in to pitch. But Macy Cohen's going to have to get the majority of the work for sure. And I think she can, man. I think she really flipped a switch late in the year. Certainly
She
worked
turned it
out
on.
for him. Yeah, for sure. So we'll see.
Uh, my question for you. So Marian's down period.
When they went from outside top 10 to not in the top 25. Gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they struggled. Was it because they struggled, or was the Crossroads just that deep this year, that good?
No, we missed on the crossroads completely this year. I don't say we disrespected it because I mean, we talked about St. Francis a good bit, but
Yeah.
no, Huntington was solid this year. Spring Arbor, very solid. And looking back at it, it's like, should Spring Arbor have maybe gotten into the opening round? Looking back at it, it's like, I think they could have had a better performance than maybe some teams that had four or five teams in. That's all I'm going to say. I think they would have done at least as good as some of those conferences that got four or five teams in because you look at Southern State, Sun Conference. Sun Conference got four. Southern State's got five. That's nine teams. They have two teams represented. The Crossroads got two teams represented as one conference. So we'll see kind of how it all works out though. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that conference was just way better than what we thought it was. And, I got to give a lot of credit to Scott Fleming, man. He straight up told me at the beginning of the year, he said, this conference is deeper. It's better than it's been. It's not the top half coming to earth. It's the bottom or middle half getting better. And he was 100% correct. The Crossroads, really good job. I know it's known as a basketball conference. It was a softball conference as well this spring.
Hmm. Basketball conference. I would have never.
With it being Indiana.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes
Yeah,
sense.
dude. I mean, they've got Grace, Indiana Wesleyan's great, Marian's usually good, men's and women's. So whatever, go listen to Junior and Manny if you want your basketball talk. Because we ain't
Yeah,
it,
nah.
dog. We ain't it. Okay, the best story, the craziest story, the most
It
historic
is.
story of not just this opening round, but of Carly and myself's brief experience in covering NAI softball. British Columbia, Coach Jennifer McKellar and her squad punching their ticket to Columbus for the first time in program history against Oklahoma City. Carly, trivia time. This is the first NAI Softball World Series, excluding 2020 because of COVID, without Oklahoma. The state of Oklahoma being represented since when?
Ooh. Um, was I around? No.
No,
No.
no. You and I were not involved in the NAI or I give you a hint. We weren't really thinking about college yet.
Mm.
Maybe it was in the back of our mind, but
2011.
not quite that far. 2015 was the last time Auburn Montgomery won the national championship. The D2 powerhouse now did it. Yeah, I mean, Carly, talk about Carly Murray. Holy crap.
Dude, she is a major reason for their success
Yeah,
in the opening rounds. She allowed two earned runs in 26 innings. Um, let's see here. She's got a 1.29 ERA and a .88 WHIP this season. Um, I mean, she is UBC in my eyes.
yeah. I mean, I know that's not a fair thing to say a
It's
lot,
not.
but it's similar. They are. It's funny. We don't have Georgia Gwinnett, but it's almost like Georgia Gwinnett.
It is, yeah.
They are very similar.
Annalise,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very similar to Jarvis. I mean, yeah, I mean, 194 innings pitched, that's a ton. And 214 strikeouts, that's a
that's a
ton.
ton.
Yes, it is. Looking at elsewhere though, Bryn Fortier, I could see her maybe she's going to have to come in at some point and give her some relief work because the kind of pitcher Carlene Murray is throwing 66 to 68 miles an hour, that takes a lot out of you. It's hard to
hmm
hit, but it takes a lot out of you. You can't win the World Series with her pitching every game. I don't think. I
No,
could be wrong.
not to
But
mention, I mean, once again, the environment of Georgia, the heat.
Correct.
the humidity
For a
for
team
a
that's
team from way
probably,
up there.
yeah, that's like not going to be used to this at all. And I know Oklahoma City, they got sort of a taste of it. Totally different. Tegan Arnett in the lineup, certainly the player to watch, batting 333. She went 10 for 17 in the opening round. Briley Donahue was phenomenal as well, got 6 hits. Jessica Huting was massive in the opening round and had the walk-off double down the right field line to score. Harnett, this lineup had timely hitting and was able to produce enough run support. Let's not forget, we talk about the Oklahoma City wins, beating Oklahoma City 2 out of 3 times in their place is insane. They were losing in that Grandview game, and when their lineup needed a big inning, they were able to have it. They're going to have that at some point. At some point, Carly Murray is going to give up a couple. You're going to be down 1-0 or 2-0, whatever. You got to be able to respond. If they can, this team can go on a run, can absolutely go on a run.
Hmm.
Because you look at their path, going against College of Idaho. Who knows how that game goes? A rivalry game. Then you got Southeastern. I didn't like the Evangel matchup for Southeastern because of the elite pitching. You got, with all due respect to Maddie Meyer, you got a better pitcher with Carly Murray against that Southeastern lineup.
Hmm.
Don't be surprised if we're looking at a 10 seed messing around on Saturday in the winners bracket. All that being said, Carly, question number one is Carly Murray's health and availability slash how important is it for British Columbia to win that first game and just stay in the winners bracket as long as possible and just not end up in the losers bracket?
I think they go hand in hand. Like if you want to keep Carly Murray healthy and available, it's important that you win that first game because I mean, you lose that first one, you're playing the max amount of games that you have to play.
Yeah.
So I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at the bracket. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter because it does. Um, it's not like they're in the 6-3 or the 4-5 matchup. You know, the 6-3 and 4-5 matchup, you win that game, you get Friday off. They're in the seven
Mhm.
ten, so they win Thursday, they gotta play Friday and Saturday. Then you get Sunday off, but fair enough. Okay, last question.
Let's see here. Can the lineup find ways to produce runs like they did in OKC?
I think they can because they face good pitching. I mean, also for Oklahoma City is a good pitcher. Waldorf for Grandview is a great pitcher. So they face good pitching and they were able to produce runs against it. It's going to be a little bit different if they do win that first game, if they get a Playa or Zelenka in that second game. But I mean, with all due respect to Keena Watts, I think she's right there around that same level as and I think Waldorf of those three, Keena Watts, Madeline Waldorf, and Briley Alsop for Oklahoma City. I think Waldorf is definitely the best of those three. Do you agree with that?
Hmm.
Okay. They were able to put up what 5 on her in Grandview. Is that correct? Yeah, 5. They won that one 5 to
Yeah.
3. So yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Why not? Okay, Carly, that's it. So you want to do a bracket?
Let's do a bracket.
Okay. All right. Back from a brief break. And so here's how we do it. I'm not doing a bracket. I will tell you right now who I have in the national championship. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to give you my national championship and my national champion. I've got the 3 seed over the 1 seed. I've got Southern Oregon beating Madonna in the national championship. I think that Madonna will beat Southeastern um, in. Um, is that right? Yeah, Madonna beats
Hmm.
Southeastern. Yeah. Yes, yes. I think Madonna will be. I think Madonna will go all the way through and play Monday against Southern Oregon. I think Southern Oregon beats Madonna to send them into the elimination bracket. I think they will face the Southeastern Fire. They will beat the Southeastern Fire in the third place game. SCU finishes third. And then Madonna will beat Southern Oregon once, force the if necessary game, and Southern Oregon will win that game. So I've got Southern Oregon winning in 18,
Okay.
19 games.
Got it.
Okay, Carly, you don't have to be there. I don't
Right.
mind. I
But
don't mind
if you
because I'm
people are
not.
there and my
Yeah,
bracket sucks, give Reagan all the crap.
yeah, that's fine. I'll eat it. Okay, Carly, game one of the NAIA Softball 2026 World Series is the Battle of the Crossroads, Indiana
Hmm.
Wesleyan and Marian. Who do you have on top?
I'm gonna go with IWU.
All right, so you've got IWU They will take on Madonna Friday. We'll
Hmm.
hold on to that. Okay. And so now we go to game two, which is Mobile against OLLU.
I'm gonna go OLLU.
Okay. Okay. So we move OLLU on. All right. Next game, Southern Oregon against Cumberlands.
Southern Oregon.
Southern Oregon. That was quick. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Just remember, I'm having to, I'm filling out your bracket for you so I can remember asking questions here in a minute. So bear with me just a little bit because I'm putting Mobile. Um,
Oh yeah, you got to put him down in the
yeah. So that I ask you,
losers.
yeah, for the losers bracket. Yeah. Elimination bracket. You know what? Forget
Yeah.
political correctness. You know what it is. Um, last game of day one is the Battle of the Cascade, Yotes, Thunderbirds,
Yotes.
for sure. For sure. So that's got UC and UCB for the first games on Friday, or UBC, I should say. Apologies. Okay. So first game, Battle of the M's, Marian Mobile elimination game.
Marian Mobile.
That's a 10 a.m. Friday game.
It's a hard one. I'm gonna say Marian.
Okay. So Mobile, you got Mobile going. Oh, and you're just feeding them. We were just feeding
I'm
Mobile,
sorry. I'm
just
sorry.
feeding Mobile bulletin board after not picking them to win their regional. And then you got them going 0 and 2. Okay. Second elimination game, Cumberlands, British Columbia.
Um, Dang, that's tough. I'm gonna say Cumberlands.
Okay. So Cumberland's moving on. All right. So next up, we would have the 4 o'clock game, and that's Yotes Fire.
I so badly want to pick an upset.
You haven't been all chalk so far. And even though it's an 8-9 matchup, I weirdly feel like Marion beating Iowa would still be an upset just because of Marion's experience in the World Series previously. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you did pick the 5 over the 4, so that's at least something. Also
Yeah.
pick what you want to pick. I mean, I'm not going to be there's not let me tell y'all
Yotes.
something. Go ahead, because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, there's not one, not a single result that's going to surprise me
Hmm.
in the opening or
I'm gonna
in the
say
World Series this
Yotes
year.
because of one, the lineup, but two, sometimes that day off is harder for those teams.
No, I agree. That's a good point. That is very good point. Okay.
And I love
So
a good upset, so
there you go. So the final game of day two on Friday is Indiana Wesleyan against Madonna.
Madonna.
Okay. So you've got Madonna. All right. And then we go on to Saturday. Our first game on Saturday is elimination game between Southeastern and Marion.
I'm gonna say Southeastern.
Okay. So got them moving on past um yeah, moving on to Monday. So yeah, they make it past the weekend. Southeastern
Hmm.
Marion goes home. Okay. At 1 o'clock. That is the loser of game eight. So that is Cumberlands versus Indiana Wesleyan.
Indiana Wesleyan.
Okay, so Cumberland's heading home. Indiana Wesleyan moving on past the weekend. That has our 4 o'clock game with Madonna and Our Lady of the Lake for a spot in the semifinal.
Hmm. I'm gonna say Madonna.
Okay, got the 1 seed moving on into the semifinal. OLLU drops down. Oops. OLLU drops down here. Okay, and then the final game, game 12, Southern Oregon, C of I.
Give me Southern Oregon.
Okay, Southern Oregon. Moving on, C of I move or all these things. Yeah, they both are on into past the weekend. Okay, first game after the weekend, 1 o'clock Monday. College of Idaho, Indiana Wesleyan. A lot of runs.
Yeah. Um, Crap. Oh, this is hard.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Um, I'm gonna say Indiana Wesleyan.
All right, IWU eliminating C of I. Then we've got a rematch of a great game down in Gulf Shores, Our Lady of the Lake against Southeastern.
I'm gonna say Our Lady of the Lake.
Bye bye Southeastern. Okay, it's upset. All right, Monday for a spot in the national championship, the number 1 and number 3 seed, Madonna, Southern Oregon.
I'm say Madonna.
Okay, so we got that's where we go a little bit different there. It's
Yeah, I was trying to
fine.
keep ours different too.
Yeah, 'cause you're not allowed to pick Southern Oregon. Uh, I mean, look, I'm joking by that. If you want to pick them, pick them. And don't, if you want to really test our jinx, go ahead. All right, Indiana Wesleyan against Our Lady of the Lake,
OLLU.
OLLU, and that leaves our semifinal game, OLLU against Southern Oregon. Would
Southern
be
Oregon.
so we've got the same national championship.
Mm-hmm.
Carly, do you have Southern Oregon forcing the if game?
I do.
Okay. Game 19, who's your national champion?
I'll say Madonna.
Thank God. All right.
Just to keep it different.
Appreciate you. All right, but honestly, do you honestly believe winner take all, Madonna, Southern Oregon, who wins that ball game? Like all
I'm
jokes
a,
aside.
I think I'll stick with Madonna.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So we have the same national championship. We got different picks. Carly's rocking with the Crew. I'll rock with the Raiders. Any of these 10 teams can win it. We just broke through. This is good. Good. I think it was a good preview episode. All right. Wednesday, coaches. You're here from all 10 coaches and a few players. My name is Reagan Harrell. That's Carly Fitzer. Carly, great to have you back, my friend.
Good to be back.
It's a great episode of NAISB.